This wreath kit was inspired by you all. You asked me to put a kit together because of this little sign right here. It's one of our most popular signs, and it is, I will cling to the old rugged cross. I'm trying to get the glare off of it. Well, here, let me take it out of the plastic. So this one comes with this sign, the old rugged cross, a 10-inch sign. Look at the mesh I was able to snag. I grabbed 2 rolls of this vertical, this horizontal stripe mesh. This is a Deco poly mesh that is a newer design, but check that out. So we're going to be using that. This kit also comes with 2 greenery. This variegated greenery is as part of this, and you also get this one. I had to throw both of them in there, y'all, and I still was able to keep the price of this. But look how beautiful all of that's going together. And you also get the wire frame to bring it all together. And you get these 2 rolls of ribbon. So both of these rolls of ribbon come in this wreath kit. It's amazing. Now I am going to use some additional items such as my, I like to use cable tie mounts to attach my sign to the wreath frame, and my DAP Rapid Fuse glue. So I'll be using 4 of those. And some of you may choose to use a hole punch and use floral wire or whatever to attach that to your frame, and that's okay too. And I'm also going to pull out my trusty wreath mesh cutter and my favorite shears. The ones that I've owned for going on 8 years and have never sharpened. These are Fiskars. They're awesome. And wire cutters. We're going to need some wire cutters for that greenery. I have my glue pot off to the side heating up. And so it's cooking over here on the side off camera, getting ready for us. Kit for me, you're going to get a recipe card that looks just like this. And what it does is tells you that if you buy a wreath kit that has a square sign, actually let's do it this way. So if you get a wreath kit that has a round sign, 2 rolls of mesh, 3 rolls of ribbon, and a wreath frame, look, watch this video. So go watch this video. Now, in this case, this has 2 rolls of ribbon. Find a recipe that's close to what you have. I had somebody contact me last week and they're like, it doesn't have any florals in it. I really want you guys to use it as inspiration for your measurements, but I want you to definitely create. That's the whole part. You know, I want you to be inspired. So inspired. This is the sign in our wreath kit. It is my, I will cling to the old rugged cross 10-inch metal sign. So I'm going to start by adding some cable tie mounts to the back of it. And I'm going to use my DAP Rapid Fuse glue. And for this, I just put I just put 1 little tiny dot down. I don't need a whole lot. Now, if you feel like that may not be enough, that's okay. You can also go back around the cable tie mounts with your hot glue gun too. So you have both hot glue and the DAP Rapid Fuse glue. Now, I will tell you with this mesh, because it's called, what does it say on there? Ooh. It just says Deco Poly Mesh, but it's going to ravel super easy. So it reminds me of poly burlap that you would want to cut with maybe a wood burning tool, etc. So you don't want a lot of cuts with this. You want to avoid cutting with this. And so in that case, what we're going to do is we're going to use this in the poof method, because I'm not dragging out no wood burning tool today. I don't even know where my wood burning tool's at. I think it belonged to Gary and I returned it. And I'm just gonna let them set up, cure, while I work on the rest of this. So for this, let's take and open our twist ties. This is a 15-inch elevated work frame. So it has that elevation to it. So we're gonna have a little bit of a wider base when we get done. And it has 18 twist ties on it. 18 twist ties. Because it will ravel very easily, we're going to do a poof method. And when I do a poof method, I literally just throw this on the floor. And that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to take and I'm going to gather this. Actually, I'm going to fold it over and create a fold of about, that's backwards. Oh no. Let me turn my mat around. About 6 inches. Anywhere 6 and 7 inches. I'm going to fold that over. Then I'm going to gather that up with my hands. And now I have this little poof. The raw side is underneath. I'm going to start on the top of my frame. And I'm going to push that mesh all the way down to the frame and give this a couple of twists. I'm going to now, to do my next one, I'm going to measure. I'm going to skip past this one and pull this clear over here. Hold it right there. I'm going to gather it together, push it back here, and a couple of twists. So now we have a poof. We have 2 poofs. We have our beginning poof and we have a second poof. We're going to continue this and just repeat this all the way around. And y'all, we may only need 1 roll of mesh for this, which would make everyone happy, because that means that at the end, you will have an extra roll of mesh. Not hurting at all. We'll see, because this is definitely a mesh I don't want to cut. Now, if you have if you work with poly burlap mesh very often, you already know that using that wood burning tool to cut your mesh is the best way, because it like sears the edges. It seals them off and helps reduce the raveling. Or you can do it this way. This way. Absolutely. All right, so this is where we started, right? This is where we started, that beginning poof. So for this one, I'm going to measure out about 10 inches, or, I'm going to, about the same amount. I'm going to make my poof, and I'm going to kind of put it right inside the same twist tie the first one was at. Now, to go down to this section, I'm just simply going to gather this, kind of make it tight, come down here. Hang on, let me grab my mesh. It's hanging up down here. And I'm just going to bring it just like that to where it is just coming straight down. Now, I can measure over 1, 2, make my poof, and it's going to go right here. That's easy. Yes, Charlotte, this is a 15-inch frame. Yes, ma'am. 1, 2. Now, because the size of the frame, your poofs on the bottom row are going to be a little bit larger than on your top row. That's normal. That's absolutely normal. What'd you do to Bailey? over here. So I'm just going to fill in between. Add a piece, add it to a twist tie. Again, go in between the top row and the second row. I'm going to turn those edges downward. So it's not really a poof, it's not a ruffle, it's just kind of a filler. But it will help camouflage that wire frame. All right, I'm going to cut this off right here, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with my end. And I still want to show you on the mesh. Look, we still have part of this roll left. So there's plenty here to keep for a second project. And this would be a nice accent. And I will put this one aside because we're only going to use one roll of mesh. So this piece that is left over, I'm actually just going to kind of bring it in between the rows, and we're going to bring it out the back side of my frame. And sometimes you can just take a zip tie or a twist tie, but I can probably take a small zip tie and there's one. It's a long one. It's okay. And I'm just going to zip tie that onto the piece of the wire frame here on there. So our base looks nice and full. You might still have a couple of little holes, but don't forget that we're going to be using ribbon on this too as well. So watch what happens when we start adding ribbon. And then we're also going to be filling it in with some of this greenery and floral spray as well. So we've got lots of fun. The ribbon that I chose to put with this frame is a 2.5 inch, and it's got the music notes on it. So of course, you know, I'm sure most of us are familiar with the song, Old Rugged Cross. And so the music notes just kind of tie in with the song. And of course, those are the lyrics. I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. This is one of those wreaths that can hang all year round. So let's measure it out. I'm going to go ahead and cut some 12-inch pieces of ribbon. And let's start with 10 of them. I know for sure I want to put ribbon all the way around the outside of the frame, and that would be 10 twist ties. So let's do that. Down here for a moment. This is that twist tie that's not very, there's not very much of it. It's like a little stub, but I want to kind of see. So I really like those two together. I don't know that I want to stack this on top of the music notes. So let's take a look at how we feel about this one. So it's either this or this and this together. I kind of like the contrast with this, but we're still going to be using this ribbon. But I like the contrast right here. What do you guys think? Can you see that? This is, so let's do that. Let's continue around the bottom and just use that 2.5 inch music notes. We're just going to put those around the bottom on the outer edge. That one was supposed, that one is the outer edge, by the way. And this is not attached yet, so we're good. So I'm going to take that sign that we've already added the cable tie mounts to, and let's add our pipe cleaner. let's go back to this for a moment. And let's see. I really enjoy putting the sign kind of off cattywampus. So I'm going to go there. All right, one more here. Get all 4 of these pipe cleaners through this mesh. Okay, let's turn this over. And let me see, where do I want to put this one? All right. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Yay. All right, so we've got our old rugged crust. We've got a beginning here. So what I was thinking with this one is sometimes I like to do little bows. And sometimes those bows make a bigger impact than, and I think that's what I'm going to do, than a ribbon tail. So let's cut that off and let me show you how I did this. Let's break it down. So first of all, when I get my mat turned around, this is 27 inches long. I'm going to dovetail the ends of it. And I am going to bring over another one of these. Get it ready, get it ready. And we're going to make like a breast cancer awareness ribbon cross here. Bring this down in the center. Pinch it here. And that's going to go right on top of this one. Right on top. There we go. I like it. What do you think? Oh, I love this. That is my favorite song. It looks like I will be going to have surgery. Oh, bless your heart, Joyce. All right, so we're going to do a few of those around here. So when you see that there are 2 rolls of ribbon included, sometimes less is more. Let's do a few more. I only want about, let me see. Let's do 3 more. Because I want to make a nice bow. And don't forget, we're going to be adding this too. We got all kinds of beauty coming up. So I'm going to get these locked and loaded. And now what's really fun, if it's your first time getting a wreath kit from me, you get full rolls of ribbon. So I know some people that do wreath kits or put wreath kits together, they give you like X amount of yards. Well, you get the whole roll. So you're always going to get 10 yards of ribbon. Ah, Susan, thank you. Yeah. These were fun to pick out. So let's make a bow before we add anything else, but I love how that's all going to blend together. Kind of gives you a nice little view. All right, so for my bow, we're going to just make a round bow. And we're going to make it about 7 inches, 7-inch tail, anywhere between 6 and 7-inch loops. And for this one, I'm going to do 3 loops on each side. All 3 loops are going to be 6 inches. and my tail. Then let's take our gold, and this is actually sage green. It's gold and sage green.
I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and I love the way this turned out. Thanks for watching.